day everyone, and welcome to the Guys Cause to talk about faith and facts relating to a guy's life. My name is King Boy, and today we're talking about a very I want to use the word interesting topic, because it's the word very vital topic. We're talking about abuse tendencies, and it's no longer news what have been happening over the weeks. In fact, this month of April, a lot of things trended with the abuse of our sister in a kingdom that died as a result of domestic violence, and the abuse of a 13 years old girl and every that thing. And it's quite funny that a lot of things are happening, and these things can boil down to the lack of intentional parenting. And not just that, and parenting in the fact from the parents and from the kids' parts. Like, not just that, a lot of things happen in the generation. It's not longer news that the sphere or the mountain of influence of marriage has been attacked. A lot of people is losing faith in marriages. A lot of people is losing faith in family because, so speaking, the devil or the enemy knows that is the bedrock of a society. The bedrock of a society is the family. Whatever is happening all over the world is as a result of the deficiency in intentional parenting and deficiency in family. So talking about tendencies of abuse. Now the reason I want to talk about this is that because most of the abuse that happens is mostly from the guy or from the man or the husband to the wife. Most of the physical abuse, the word, and every other kind of abuse is most from our gender, the guy's gender. So I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it from the part people talk about. No, I'm talking about from the point of that, from our own point of view, the guy's point of view, and how we can remedy these things. Okay. I'm talking about the tendencies. That how would you know if you have a tendency, and what are the things that provokes a guy into abuse? Now, nobody is born to be a villain in the movie. Everybody was an innocent baby or an innocent baby at the particular point in their life. And what happened to that innocent child that's not grew up to start abusing people? What happened to that child that the child that becomes the villain in the movie? Nobody wants to be a devil or a devil's advocate. When they were getting married, I will discuss something different a few days ago. I'm talking about what happened to that fire before marriage. And it is in rare cases you find people that abuse their wife in courtship. It's in rare cases it happens. But in rare cases you find that people that abuse their wife abuses them like a night to the wedding. Everybody's so excited. What happened at the long run? That 2-3 years in the marriage, the guy changes and starts abusing the wife. So one thing we should understand is that sometimes we don't know all our tendencies. And that's the reason why Jesus Christ gave us the Holy Spirit, because we don't know our tendencies. Now, there's the same David that could not touch the cloth or the hem of his master's garment that wanted to kill him, was the same David that killed his own friend and took his friend's wife. So sometimes we think we know ourselves. We don't know ourselves as much as God or the Holy Spirit knows ourselves. So that's the reason why it's important for us to submit ourselves continually to the Holy Spirit and actually look intentionally and consciously look at our tendencies. Because there are so many things we can do, so many bad, so many evil inside of us. In fact, the Bible says that the heart of the man who knows it, not even the man doesn't know what is in his heart. Sometimes we don't know what we are capable of doing. They told Judas at the beginning of his journey with Christ that we're going to be the one to betray Christ. He won't believe it. So there are a lot of tendencies that are hidden inside of us that if we don't consciously let the Holy Spirit to share His light upon them, those tendencies will go to be something that will be amazed. Will amaze us. So we're going to talk about tendencies of abuse. How would you know if you have the tendencies to abuse your wife? How would you know if you have the tendencies to be an abusive husband? Those are the things we're going to talk about today. And this is the part nobody have talked about. So I just feel like it's something we should talk about. Now, we all grew up in homes, and the funny part is that the larger part of the things we know, we learn them unconsciously. Especially when it comes to character. Some character traits we picked up from our parents, pick up from society, are things we learn unconsciously. So if you don't consciously unlearn those things we made, they'll cause a lot of distortions to us. So we learn these things unconsciously, and they start driving us, start motivating, start making us do things we can't even help because we learn them unconsciously. So we have to consciously unlearn these things for us to go further in life. Now, I'll talk about what provokes a man to do. Yes, people will say the lady do provoke a man to violence and all that. I want to ask a question. Probably that man has not encountered a Nigeria police or a Nigeria police. Let me use that word. There's a way in Nigeria police will have an abuse you and provoke. You can't even raise your hand and touch them. Or the soldier, the army man, can justly just provoke you. Have you ever got angry and hit that man and just slap the man, start fighting the man. No, because there's something that controls you, senses danger. You sense that once you hit that man, the thing is dangerous to your own life. So the reason why most men even abuse are because they feel they can get away with it. When they know they can't get away with it, then they won't do it. So the case they're bringing up that women actually provokes them to, that case is not valid, because anybody that wants to abuse will abuse even if it's not provoked or not. So women or a lady or a wife will always provoke you. In fact, not even women, humans, friends, family, they always get to a point that will stretch you above your patience limit. So it's what you have inside of you at that particular point in time that can actually contain you not to do whatever you're supposed to do. Okay. One of the greatest cause of abuse, this is what I want to talk about now. This is my submission, and I find reasons and sense to it by the leading of the Holy Spirit and everything. I've actually vetted it with a lot of research and everything. This is one of the things that actually cause abuse in man and actually provoke the abuse part in the man, especially the African man. And let me say it in this way. Now, in this world, there are so many kind of women, there are so many kind of ladies, but there are little kind of, I categorize them into two. There are two kind of ladies I see. And now the truth is, not all woman is a wife. You can't marry every kind of lady. There's a kind of lady you have to marry, depends on your, shall I call it your destiny and your character, your temperament. There's a kind of lady you should marry. There's a kind of lady you can marry. Then sometimes you marry the kind of lady you ought not to marry, sometimes it may lead you into being an abusive husband. Now, this is not an excuse, but let me just land. Now, the two kind of ladies we have the lady that, I'll talk about the first one. The first one is the lady that are submissively submissive. And these are the kind of ladies that all their dream, all their ambition is to be a good wife, to be a good mother, is just to be a good wife and a good mother. Let me stop at there. This kind of ladies that they follows the man and the man's dream. If the man wants to be a pilot and they're supposed to be moving around the world, this woman will follow the man to do everything. The dream of this woman, or the core, or the joy of this woman is to help the man to achieve the man's dream. So whatever the man's dream is or are, this woman will help this man to achieve these dreams. So we tell the woman to sit here, she will sit here. Tell her to stand up, she will stand up. Because that's her call. Her call is to make sure that her husband achieves his destiny and her children achieve his destiny. She have nothing outside of that. Outside of that boss, there is nothing else. These kind of people, they can be career ladies, but they'll just stick at one career. Their life is mostly stable. They can just stay at one career for the rest of their life, not switch career at all, because they prefer a stable life. They prefer a life that is submissive to the husband's dream. They have no personal dream of their own. The only personal dream to see their husband achieve his destiny and their kids achieve their destiny. And these are great mothers. All can be good, but these are wonderful mothers. You see mothers of these that have great children, their husband is great. For example, now missionaries kind of marry these kind of wives a lot. Missionaries. And politicians maybe, and some other people that have greater or whatever, marry this kind of wives. And this is one kind of woman. Now, on the flip side, there's another kind of woman. This is a woman that dreams. The second kind of woman, this is a woman that dreams. Now, let me talk about the first one again. If you know your life, if you know you cannot handle, okay, let me talk about the second type of it first, then I'll come back again. Now, the second kind of women, these are the women that have dreams. They are good wives, they are good mothers, but they dream too. They have their own dreams, they have their own career, they have their own calling, they have their own ministry. And you find the kind of women becoming CEOs, becoming founders of ministries, having NGOs, running their own companies, running their own ministries, running their own NGOs. These people, they are wives, but they still have dreams. So the two kind of women we have, that are women that their dreams are just tailored to the husband's dream, and the women that are submissive to the husband, but they still have their own dream, they still have their own callings. So as a man, you have to know the kind of husband you can be. Now, you can either marry a woman that her dream is just to support you and be submissive to you, or you marry a woman that has her own dream. Now, understand this is that sometimes men that are supposed to marry wife, that are supposed to just be that don't have dream just to support their dream, now go and marry a woman that have dream, and at the tail and at the marriage, they want to dim her light, they want to quench a fire, they want to hold her not to dream because they feel her dream is threatening their own dream. And that's when abuse, that's when envy comes in. And envy is like the root of abuse, because that envy, they're not competing with the wife instead of complimenting the wife. And that's when most of them just go and start abusing her, start trying to dim her light. And those things come from trying to make her feel less of herself, and when she's not feeling less of herself, it becomes physical and every other thing. And this is the issue most marriages passes through. Now, as a man, you have to know the kind of wife you can handle. If you know you cannot handle the wife that have her own dream, if you know you cannot be a man that will be in the passenger seat sometimes, then you have to marry a woman that just her dream is just to support her husband. Most of them end up as just being housewives or just having one career. But if you want to marry a woman that dream, you have to learn. You have to learn and unlearn to be in the passenger seat sometimes. Now, listen to this. For the fact that your woman is shining does not dim your own shine. Instead, it amplifies your shining. Because at least the woman is answering your name. And this is where most men get it wrong. They feel that the strength or for them to be secured in the marriage, for them being the boss all the time, or for them they are light overshining that of the wife. And that's why I see that most women that are shining, their husbands are very abusive because they feel the wife is supposed to submit to them at everything. But this woman has her own dream. So if you don't have the patience to watch a woman shine more than you, or shine as you shine, then you have to look for a wife that does not have a dream outside the dream of a family. And this is one of the greatest issues to abuse, because then you see the man start competing with the wife, you see the man start envying the wife, and stuff like that will lead to hatred, will lead to deep anger that cannot be explained, and it can only be expressed by abuse. So you find likes of women like Joyce Meyer, you find women like Fuka and Dejima. Now, if you look at those people, if you look at their husbands, the husband has mastered the act of being a husband. A man that is secured in his stand as a husband, that is not threatened by the shine of the reign of his wife, because he understands that his place as a man is not tied to the wife being deemed or being the wife being under him. There are women that have voices. If you look at the scripture, there are women like Esther, Deborah, Abigail. These women that have voices and they have husbands. There are women that will have voices, there are women that will have husbands. So there are women that they are just born, they are just their own destiny is to make sure that wife and their husband and their children achieve destiny. It's okay, they're all in this kingdom. But if you're a man, if you are dating a girl, you are courting a lady, and you discover this lady has a voice, she has a ministry, she has a dream, she has a calling, she has a business, and she has what she wants to do with her life, aside just being the wife and the mother, then you must ask yourself, can you take it? Can you take the fact of seeing your wife shining more than you? Can you take the fact of following your wife to an event and your wife calling, oh, my husband is there or something? Can you take that? If you can't take that, please leave that marriage. Not marrying her because you see her shining and in the marriage you are trying to dim her light. Brother, that's wrong. Even God won't be happy with you. Because God has placed an ability here that needs to bless the world, our world, our generation. And you are the devil fighting it. And as a lady, if you discover these tendencies in a man, as you're dating the man is not supporting your own dream. The man is not encouraging your own dream, and you are cutting him. Please, this is the best time for you to leave. It's the best time for you to, because that man will not only dim your light, will not only kill your dream, but will most likely kill you without him even knowing. And this is because most men did not enter marriage with the intention of abusing their wife. Most of them have not even slapped a friend in their whole life, but they find themselves doing those things in marriage because they did not know the kind of wife they should get married to. It's because they feel insecure in their position, because they don't have the knowledge and understanding that as their wife is shining, they are shining, because two become one. So that's one of the issues that goes on with abusive marriages. I grew up in a home where my both parents are dreamers, and I saw the way their dreams conflict sometimes. And I saw the way sometimes it becomes catastrophe, becomes something else in the house. And I grew up, I started learning those things. I started knowing that a woman to dream. My mom is a dreamer. She has a lot, even at this age, she has a lot of things she wants to do with her life. And she just needs support. And sometimes my dad don't give her the support she needs or the adequate support she needs. She flares up and I see that it takes a man with strong patience to marry a lady that dreams. I was in a room in January with Dr. Obe Kwesili and Remishomiya, Sonia, other name, the first presidential candidate of Kowa Party, and female presidential candidate of Kowa Party. So I was in the same room with both of them and their husband in a dinner, and in a dinner settings, and I saw the way the husband supports the wives. Now, when Dr. Obe was supposed to give a speech, Dr. Obe, the former Minister of Education, and she works at World Bank too, and When she was about to give a speech, after she was talking, she called in her husband. My husband came. I saw the husband being very supportive. And I'm like, I didn't mean like this in Africa. And later, I was in the table of the missionary, the former presidential candidate with her. She was in the same table with her husband. So I went to the table to have a conversation with both of them. And after conversing with them, I asked the husband, okay, so we were just asking, me and the friend, we were asking them different questions because I saw the way the love is. Even they were like my lecturers in a particular course, and both of them, and when both of them were, if the wife is teaching, the husband will be there sometimes, and both two of them will be communicating while they're lecturing us. And I'm like, wow, are they husbands like this? And I remember asking the man a question. I said, sir, can I have your Twitter? Because the wife is verified on Twitter, and it's a big deal to be verified on Twitter. But the husband, I'm not sure the husband is even active on Twitter. And I said, sir, can I have your Twitter? Because I was following the wife already. And I'm like, okay, can I have your Twitter handle so that sometimes I can see what the wife is? The husband was like, no, if you follow my wife, you followed me. And I'm like, wow, so there are men like this. So there are men like this that understand that they are secured in their space. Their space is not threatened by the light of their wife. Their space, they are very insecure as a husband. Now, a husband is a leader. And in a team, a leader is not the most smartest person in the team. The leader is the person that manages the resources of the team, not necessarily the most smartest person in the team. So for the fact that you are the leader or you are the head of the house does not mean that you are the most anointed in the house. Does not mean that you are the most intelligent man in the house. Does not mean that you are the most successful man in the house. It doesn't mean that you are the man that manages the resources, the human resources of the home. So men, let's be secured in our position. The shining of the wife, or shining of our wife, does not dim our own shine. Rather, it amplifies our shining. If you see that it dims your shine, that leads you into envy, leads you into hatred, leads you into abuse. And the devil, except the edge is broken, the serpent cannot bite. The edge may be just the envy. Some husbands compete with their wife, or compete with their wives, or complimenting their wives. So this is one of the key issue, or the key cause of abuse in marriage. There are other causes, but for you to know that you have the tendencies of being an abusive husband, if you cannot think or imagine your wife shining more than you in her own sphere of influence, that's one of the tendencies. I hope I said something reasonable today, and I don't want you to think about these things. Think about it and apply it in your day-to-day life, and seek that a wife's shine or a lady's shining does not dim your own shine. So it should not have to necessarily lead to abuse or leads towards to envy and hatred. Thank you very much. My name remains King Bure, and if this is your first time of joining, please like, subscribe, and share to these brothers. Need to understand these things, and God bless you. Until next time. So next time I'll probably talk about should I talk about sex? No, maybe not yet. Maybe, I don't know. So the next time, see you on the same channel. Thanks for joining us, and then remain blessed and peace out.